What's up, guys? This is Orion. So, with the new alien event that just came out yesterday, I wanted to go over it and show you which classes are better, which are not, and how you can beat the event. So if you go into Dungeons in the Special tab, it's a dungeon with no level requirement. You could be level 1. If you go into it, the rewards are, there's two options for it. You can do the standard mode with 3 lives and regular damage, and then it'll give you this black and green skin, which is completely random. Or you can turn on challenge mode and it drops these black and red ones and pretty much doubles the chance of getting the Bob pet that's legendary. When you turn on challenge mode though, it does the standard switch on to 2x damage and only down to 1 life instead of 3. For this event, everyone is basically level 125, and there are no upgrades, but perks still matter, so using legendaries and zero weapons does still matter and will help you. It will not hurt you to use those. Now for this event, I have 3 different videos recorded showing how to do it. One of them is as a close-up fighter. I was using Shadowblade, but it doesn't matter that much which one you use. The other one I use Summoner for range, and then the last one I did as a group with about 4 other people. The first 2 are both alone, just so you can see how it's done and find out the attack patterns. It also, halfway through, spawns in a slime boss called Bob. I will go more in depth on it during the video, but it roughly has the same attack patterns as other slimes, such as Icarus, the one that spawns in World 5, in a World 5 dungeon, and several other slimes where it attacks and then has a circle spread out occasionally that does damage. Without further ado, let's get into the video. For this first run, I ran as the Shadowblade or a close-up fighter on regular mode, just so I could get the feel for it and see how it was going, see how it would go. Um, you'll see very soon why I would recommend using a range fighter, but to start off the event, it can take up to queues of 10 people, so you can have a very large amount of people in here. And it's about a 30-second wait before anything happens. When it first starts, you see these green circles spawning around. Some of them do lightning, and some of them spawn aliens, so it's best to just avoid all of them as you don't know if it's actually going to hit you or not. As I'm going through this, you can see that there's about 6 or 7 different aliens that spawn, and you just have to deal with all of them and then wait. There's a long intermission if you deal with them faster than it expects, so there will be some waiting involved, but it is not too bad. Once that finishes, there is a new phase where you can see here. It starts with a small ring, grows to a medium ring, and then finally grows to a large ring. You want to avoid all 3 of those once you see it spawning. And then there are still some bugs as well, as you just saw. But you need to take out this barrel in the center, or this dynamite. Once you do, it floats up to the sky and does damage to the mothership from explosion. Okay, so you need to get to that before the timer runs out. There is a good amount of time on it, but you do need to deal with it. And if a bug happens, just take it and try to keep going. It's a limited time event. I doubt the developers will want to fix it that much, but just keep going. So once you start seeing those rings spawn, avoid them, and then once the third big one finishes, go into the center and take out the barrel so that you can do damage to the mothership. I'll skip through this next part just because it's fairly repetitive and keeps going through these same phases until Bob spawns, or the mini boss. Once you get the mothership down to about half health, the mini boss Bob spawns in. It says, "Behold, the ultimate creation, Bob," or something along those lines, and then he spawns in. As you can see, he's very similar to the other different slime bosses that spawn in some of the other dungeons and has similar attack patterns. Now, there's one very key thing to note and remember. When you are moving Bob, keep him away from the center. Because in one of my runs, I actually ended up losing because not in this, but in a different one, I ended up losing because Bob was over the bomb and I couldn't move him fast enough, so I wasn't able to attack it. You can also see in this that I just had a very heavy lag spike. I'm not sure if it was because of my side or because the event is new and um, is not optimized very well, so it doesn't run very well, and you're more likely to lag or um, freeze your screen. But this is why I would very heavily recommend running with other people and not doing it alone. So if something happens, they can be a form of insurance or they can take out the boss afterwards. But I would just very heavily recommend when you have him on you, get him away from the center so that when the bomb does drop into the center and you need to attack it, he's not standing over it and you can still hit it. Otherwise, sometimes you can't hit it and it's Bob is in the way and you are not able to move on and then it explodes. I'm going to speed up this last part because it's all very similar, where it spawns a wave of aliens, drops the bomb, you take out the bomb. The only difference is that Bob is there until you take him out, and then once Bob is gone, you just keep going through the same process until the mothership is gone. Now on to the next run as Summoner, but I would really just recommend any class that has range to it as long as you are comfortable with it. As for alien variations, there's the Runner, which is red and is very fast, but they don't do a lot of damage. The regular green alien, and the Enforcer, which is kind of like a tank or a golem in or a Earth Golem, any of those golems that spawn in regular dungeons that have a lot of health. So I would recommend taking out the runners first, just because they can chase you very well and stop you from healing if they do any damage, as they're really fast, and then after that you can run away or stay on your mount to heal if you need to. There isn't an insane amount of strategy to this, just because with the range classes you can attack while you're walking away, so it makes it much harder for you to be damaged or take any hits. So I would just really recommend keep walking while you're attacking, find room, use a spell or an ability, and then keep walking. Very standard and similar to how you should be doing dungeon runs. Anyways, I'm going to speed up the rest of the video just because it's all very similar and I've already talked about all the different strategies and patterns that you need to watch out for, but feel free to slow it down if you want to watch it in more detail.